I think it's important to think about the next chapter.
Senator Jeanne Shaheen announced Wednesday morning she is not seeking re-election in 2026, marking the beginning of the end of a trailblazing career in politics as the first woman in U.S. history to serve as a governor and a U.S. senator.
I think it's time now to spend a little more time with doing other things, spending time with my family, having a chance to get away from the 24/7 Senate schedule.
Shaheen says age, she just turned 78, was not a factor in her decision. She'll serve out the remainder of her current term.
I do not intend to retire, and I have 2 more years left in my term, and we have a lot of work to do. And like so many Americans, I'm very concerned about the direction of the country right now.
As the race for her opening Senate seat takes shape, Shaheen tells us she has traditionally not made endorsements in state primaries. Analysts say she played a key role in transforming New Hampshire politics.
Her momentum also aligned with the Democratic Party's momentum to turn New Hampshire from what was a red rock, deep red Republican state into a purple battleground. That all happened under her watch, and it all happened likely because of her watch.
And just to give you a sense of how long Senator Shaheen has been at this, all of the top names surfacing right now that could run for her Senate seat, when she started in New Hampshire politics, they were either children or not even born yet. Jen?
Interesting to think about. And something of note, Adam, in Shaheen's announcement that she specifically says was not a retirement. So what might she still be looking to accomplish during the remainder of her Senate term?
I think you can bet, Jen, that she's going to lean into that work on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. She's very enthusiastic about it. Without the responsibilities of campaigning or fundraising, I bet we're going to see her around the globe advocating on the Democratic side of things on the foreign relations stage.
And Adam, look, Jeanne Shaheen says this is not about age, rather the length of time spent in service. So is this in essence looking like she wants to go on top and by her own choosing here?
Yeah, you know, obviously the age factor is one thing that has become much more prominent in Washington these days. That was something that she said wasn't a consideration, but it certainly would have come into play in the campaign. If not from her opponent, then definitely the dark money groups and ads. And now she gets to exit off the national stage on her own terms.